and to share my experience on how to choose a career and how to make your best out of your career as well. Okay, so some of the tips we would be going through in this topic. I would be talking about some practical tips on how to choose a course, what are the scholarships that you can get. But then first of all, let me say why I am talking about all that, right? I have 14 years of experience, and luckily have a first-hand experience of being a student myself. So 16 years ago, I came to UK from India, from a very humble background, from India, Chhattisgarh. I'm a Maharashtrian guy, born and brought up in Chhattisgarh, and I came to UK to pursue my MBA. And then now, after spending almost 14 years, I have run my own college here, dealt with over 25 to 30,000 students in my lifetime, helping them start their career, shape their career in that scenario. And then I became a director of a university as well. So I have probably seen this industry sitting in your shoes, exactly where you are today, and at the same time from the university's viewpoint, so that probably I would be able to add some good insights to you. All right. So with that background, we would be also doing a series of different webinars moving forward. If you go on to Eventbrite, or if you go on to Zoom Abroad Facebook and look for Zoom Abroad Online Limited or Zoom Abroad, you would find the list of webinars that would be very handy for you in the future coming weeks. So every Tuesdays and Wednesdays, normally on topics like the Indian time 3:30 p.m. and the British Standard Times at the moment around 11 o'clock. Okay, you can catch hold of us. Please book a ticket. All right. So let's start this webinar by saying, why is it so important to choose a course or a university? All right. And my best bet about that is this example. The example of wearing a shoe. All right, imagine you're wearing a shoe which is either too tight or too loose. Can you even walk 10 steps? I don't think so, right? Because if you have to walk with a shoe which is not best fit for you, you cannot even walk a mile. Forget about, kilometers. But then if you choose a wrong course or university, you have to walk all way through your life. All right, it is a major decision when you are taking different options while buying a shoe. You should be actually very consciously talking about your career, which university to look for, what courses to look for, and then that is the topic that we would be talking forward. All right, so it is very much about best fit. What is a best fit for you may not be a best fit for others, and we would also talk about the commonly made mistakes while choosing a course or a university. So now let's see what are the decision making points. Okay, so in this particular slide, you would see that the various decision making points that we see. You were born at certain year, your parents made a decision about I would be, where should I send my kids for the nursery school, and then high school towards the 10th standard, and then the majority you're talking about at the 12th stage standard. You are talking about, okay, what subjects to choose. Should I go for science, biology, commerce, humanities? I do not know. So that is a very important part, where it is 10th to 12th stage that you're talking about. But at the same time, after 12th, it is a major change that you have to make. You most probably, a lot of students move out of their house, they go stay in a hostel in a different city, different town, and today we are talking about different country altogether. All right, so which country, which course, which university that I should choose, and especially which specialization. So today, in your journey of your decision making a journey, you would see at the different points that you make certain life-changing decision, and most of these decisions are irreversible. That's why it is important. Once you have made that decision, you have gone through all the processes, you have gone through all the financial pain, you cannot take it back. That's why it is very important. But in this scenario, we would be focusing majorly on the stage of the decision making at 12th, bachelor's and master's stage. All right, but we would be covering more in the future coming events. All right, so now let's go on to the next screen. What is the process of choosing a course, university, or a country? I call it CUC, CUC. All right, a very, very funny way to say that, CUC, because I personally feel, with my experience, deciding a course is most important. Then you decide a university, and the country normally decided by itself. But then many people take this approach other way around. I want to go to US, and then they start looking for university and they start looking for courses. It may work for them, but I advise and against that, to be honest, because you, first of all, you need to know what you're good at, what you want to study. All right, so how do I understand, to start with, what is important for me to decide a course? And this is applicable at your 10th stage. It is applicable at your 12th stage, at your bachelor stage, or even at your master stage. All right, so how should we find out what should we do? First of all, the biggest dogma, if anybody in your family, in your school, in your college, in your friends says that you're not intelligent, ask them to bugger off. I'm just using the nice language because of the public I'm talking to, but then actually don't let anybody say that you're not intelligent. Your academics, your sports, it does not say that how intelligent or good or bad you are. But we all are intelligent. We just need to find which part of ours is intelligent. All right, what am I good at? All right, so one thing is for sure, that you are intelligent. Okay, that is unchangeable, undisputable question that you need to answer to yourself. That's, yes, I'm intelligent, but I need to now find out, what am I good at, what am I intelligent in? All right, so that's how, let's understand how can we find that out. All right, so there are two important questions that you need to ask yourself today, now. Okay, what are you good at, and what are you love doing? Not even like doing. Okay, what do you love doing? What are you good at? Once you know this, the intersection between these two circles is exactly your career. All right, so you may be good at, you may think that, oh, I'm a great student, I've scored 95% marks in almost all my subjects, I've got 80% marks in almost all the subjects. You would see mostly the front benchers, the toppers of your class, you would say that I'm good at everything, but then that is not. All right, you might have scored a good marks, you might be good at all, in terms of you could score good marks in science and mathematics and everything, but then what do you like doing out of these subjects? What is your specialty? What do you enjoy doing? Like, for example, I love talking to students, and I can do that day and night, anytime, without tiring, without having the breakfast, and trying to manage 5 screens here and make a sense out of this. All right, so this is what you love doing, so you would not feel the pain of going through what you're going through, and at the same time you would enjoy it. So first step to ask, even if it's your 10th standard, 12th standard, bachelor's or master, whichever life stage that you are in, the first question that you need to ask is what you're good at and what you like doing. Make a list of things. Okay, ask your parents, ask your family, ask your teachers, what do you think I'm good at, mom? What do you think I'm good at? And the other question is, somebody cannot tell you. You need to answer the other part. What do you like doing? What do you enjoy doing? And some of the things that you probably discounted, do not consider. Like, for example, I like spending time on TikTok. All right, that is not bad. I like spending time on Facebook. That is not bad. That talks about some specific skill. You are very good social animal in that scenario. If you are making a great TikTok video, you are very good in acting, or you are an extrovert. You like doing things, experimenting things and stuff like that. So do not discount anything. Arey, wo to aisa karta hai. You know, that is not, that is that skill set. Okay, a person who has a TikTok follower of 1,000 and a person who's getting 85% marks in their course, both have a very good intelligence, both have a very good skill set that you want to enhance upon, and that is the subject that you probably have to look into it. Unfortunately, due to time strain, I cannot go deeper into it, but then please reach out, register yourself on zoomabroad.com, make your profile, and we can help you identify these two stuff and help you identify the course and the subject that you're good at. All right, let's move to the next slide here. What are the factors basically that you would be considering? All right, yes, what you should look for in yourself. All right, if I'm trying to answer one of these questions, what am I looking for myself? Okay, am I logic enough? If my logic and reasoning is good enough, can I communicate better? All right, many people, those who are in TikTok, guys, you know, they can communicate great, but their logic may not be great, you know, and that is fine. Are you competitive enough? Do you feel that मेरे दोस्त ने इतने score किया या फिर he can run as fast as it is, this person has achieved that in sports, I want to do that. Are you competitive enough? Are you hardworking enough, creative, new ideas, stubborn? Are you jiddi enough? Are you stubborn enough to get something done? Problem solving, leadership quality. Normally, who is the boss of your gang, of your friends? You would normally know. Are you an introvert or extrovert? Are you organized or statistical? These are the points of many points that you should be looking into to find out what are you good at and what do you enjoy. Once you have located this, these are mapped against your career. These are mapped against your courses that you should be taking. And mind you, we are an evolving creature. Okay, we evolve with time. Something that you liked in 10th standard, you may lose interest by the time you come into bachelor's. All right, so you have to do this exercise, introspect yourself on a regular basis. You cannot just do it once and that is valid for all your life. It is not like palmistry or some panditji reading your palm, or so it is not that, but it is more data. It is understanding yourself. Okay, and giving my example, I don't think I knew what am I good at and what I wanted until my second year of bachelor's. All right, and which is good. Many people in their 35s, 40s, they do not know that. All right, but the point is, the sooner you know, or sooner your kid know what they are good at and what they like doing, the better it is for your career. Okay, the more faster, more focused they would be. All right, so if you are a parent listening to it, if you are a student listening to it, this is the question that you need to ask. And I understand it is not easy to solve. Okay, so there are some tools available. All right, there are psychometric tests available. All right, you can do a psychometric test and you can see that, okay, what are my skill set? Am I good in numbers? Am I good in people? Am I good in? So these are the psychometric tests. Again, for you to know more about the best psychometric test, log on to zoomabroad.com. It is simple. It is, you can see it is ZOOM, zoomabroad.com, and we can help you understand different psychometric tests, which one to use and stuff like that. And then talk to career advisors. All right. And when I say career advisors, talk to the real career advisors, not the agencies. All right. I'm not a very big fan of agents. Agents, the name itself is quite cranky for me. Although not all agents I should put in one basket. There are some really good consultants and agents. But then when you talk to a career advisor, talk to a real career advisor. All right. Those career advisors who have an experience, who most importantly are unbiased. They're not trying to sell you something. All right, somebody who is putting an option right in front of you and asking you to choose right or left or whatever, providing all the basic information. So those are the career advisors. Talk to them and talk to successful people. Again, the real successful people, not to the one that posed to be successful, right? The one that you aspire to be. Talk to them. Okay, and I'm sure sometimes you feel these people are not reachable. They are. Most of the people, yes, there is a time constraint, but most of the people are open to help. And again, Zoom Abroad can help you connect to the successful people, help you connect to the right kind of career advisors, and so on and so forth. All right, so and it is free, of course. We are not trying to sell you something in here. All right. So these are the tools, some of the tools that you can look into and incorporate in your career building exercise, all right, or deciding your skill set in that matter. Okay, let me go on to the next slide here. If this system works. Okay, so come on. All right, so how do you plan? All right, I call it Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh strategy. All right, the reason I call it Brahma, Vishnu, Mahesh, because according to Hindu mythology and in many other religious mythologies, you would have seen that the major distinction of the humankind or the work is divided into something what is making, something what to manage, and something to sell. So Brahma is a creator, Vishnu is a manager, and Shiva is of course a destroyer. Let's convert that into a salesman. All right, so if I divide the whole career perspective, which is millions of careers out there, all right, if I were to categorize into three major sectors, it would be making, managing, and selling. So if you're a 10th standard, all right, try to identify these three. That's it. Don't worry about क्या कर लेंगे. Don't get into artificial intelligence पढ़ लेंगे या फिर fashion technology कर लेंगे. Yes, these are the things that you can evolve around, but then majorly you need to think that, can I code? When I go into making, can I make, can I manage, or can I sell? What do I interested? But then when you specify that I like making, man, all right, that making itself has different categories. All right, that making, you could be making buildings. Okay, so you may be interested in architecture. You could be making a software. You could be great in coding. You could be making an art. All right, so anything making. All right, so that is great. So that is creativity is something that it is quite important for you to be a coder. You got to be really geeky. You need to be really creative. You got to be very stubborn to get it done. I know my engineering team, they are really geeky in that terms. If they decide to make a proper feature for students, they would spend night and day to finish it off before the timeline. So that kind of geekiness that you need if you are making, that kind of creativity that you need, sometimes that is how you see some of these great writers, great artists. They are some of the weird people of this planet. All right, they do not fit in into the others. And the same way the managers, some of the managers are very different. You could, so this is an exercise, right? Take a view of your friends and family, and take a view of your father's friends, and see that what category the successful ones, or the ones that you aspire to be, fall into. Do they make? Do they manage? Do they sell? Okay. Eventually, with time, this changes, like this evolves. So the maker becomes the manager, or the seller becomes the manager, or manager becomes the maker, irrespective. But then that could change. But then at this stage of planning, you need to look at this. All right, and then eventually, taking an example of computer science, if you're good in making, you think, and in the stage number 12, that you realize that, you know what, in making, I'm not an artist, but then I'm really good in making software. So I'm good in coding. Okay, in the bachelor's phase, you go a layer deeper. Am I good in Java? I need to learn Python. I need to learn this language or that language in coding. And then in the master stage, probably you may want to learn into big data, machine learning, artificial intelligence, and so on and so forth. So try to narrow it down like a pyramid. Okay, once you narrow it down like a pyramid, it is a lot easier for you to plan and take it forward to the next step. All right, it is easier said than done, but then you need to start somewhere. You need to start by saying that, okay, I have reached this, and I will be able to basically I will talk to more people. I will talk to more advisors. I will do more psychometric tests and stuff like that for me to basically make sure that I'm doing what I'm supposed to do, and to plan what am I supposed to plan. All right. Some of the common mistakes I would like to talk about that people do in this career planning is this again decided to freeze for some reason. Okay, let me be there. Okay, so some of the common mistake is the herd mistake. All right, everybody's doing engineering, I should do it. Everybody is doing medicine, I would do it. Oh, my friend is becoming a fashion designer, I want to do it because she is my great friend, or he is my great friend. He's preparing for IELTS, I want to prepare for IELTS, or I want to be IAS and he is an IAS. So do not follow the herd. This is the biggest mistake. And again, the logic behind this is, every skill set, every person is different. The intelligence for every person is very, very different. You cannot just copy paste thing. All right. Talking about copy paste, many people copy paste from, oh, my uncle did this, and because he's a successful person, I want to do it. All right. And I'll give you a very good example where I did a mistake. All right. My uncle is actually my kaka, my chacha is a great doctor. All right. He made great money at a very early stage, and I aspired to become like him. And I wanted to become a doctor. All right. And imagine, look at me today. If I were a doctor, people would be dead. All right. That was not my skill set. But eventually, I got into a dentist college, and I didn't want to be a dentist, luckily. And I got into biotechnology and eventually into business. In the second year of my biotechnology, I realized, you know what, when I'm talking about my uncle, actually, I was not fascinated about being a doctor. I was fascinated about being rich, being able to make more money. So I was actually more into economics, more into business rather than doctor. So sometimes we fool ourselves, or we are so young, you are 16, 18, 20, 22. You cannot think that deep. many of you can. I'm not saying you cannot, but most of the people do not think that deep. So how do you identify that? So do not just copy paste. I want to be like my uncle. I want to be like my father. I want to be like that person, or Elon Musk or whatever. Okay. You want to be that, but try to identify that skill or the achievement rather than the profession. All right. So that is a very good one. The second one is the trend. Okay. It is trending to learn artificial intelligence. All right. It is trend to be a YouTuber. All right. Of course, that is a trend, but then you may not be good at it. You may suck. So you do not want to do that. First of all, understand. Don't just follow the trend, because trend because they are temporary. Okay, they are for a short duration and they change. All right. So if you took a trend of choosing a course, I want to be a fashion designer, and then eventually you switched out of that, because by that time that trend has gone, something new has come. And especially in this time and day, in the COVID situation, things are changing so frequently. The most established industries are changing. All right. So be agile, be flexible. So focusing on skills rather than profession is the way forward. All right. Now, how do we make sure to find the best university? Now we have talked enough about identifying your skills, identifying your likings and you're good at, and then how to not make certain mistakes we have spoken about. But how to find a best fit university is something there are numerous factors that you should be considering, especially when you're going abroad for studies. All right. Many of you probably have not traveled abroad. So it is a curiosity of how is it going to be in London? How is it the party life? How it is, the food, and, am I safe and secure? How the COVID situation in London is, and so on and so forth. So there are many factors, but then some of the important factors that you want to talk to your parents about and look into is like tuition fee. How much is the fees? Can I afford it? Eligibility. Am I even eligible? What universities can I go to? All right. Which location to go for? Is London is always great to go for, or can I go somewhere cheaper and move to London later? How's the reputation, ranking, and the teaching quality of that university? All right. What intakes? When can I go? And when should I start planning? If I'm planning for September intake, of course, you are standing in August. You cannot plan. You need to next plan for January intake. All right. So these are the information that you need to know. Employability. If I'm spending 20 lakh rupees, will I get the employment? Can I stay there? Can I get the immigration? Can I get the work permit? These are the questions that you need to consider to check the university if it is a best fit for you. Okay. So imagine now, Abhishek, a student. I decided to do business studies. All right. Now I wanted to choose a university which is affordable, my father or I can afford. At the same time, I have good fun. I have a good party life. I have good student life. I do not want to miss out on that. I want to see that if that university offers any scholarship, what is the employability of that, and all these factors. But then, of course, these are more than 80 different factors that you would like to consider. But then if you go to each and individual website of the university and try to take information, probably you will be 30-year old by the time you decide where to go. So we have made this job easy for you. If you go on to zoomabroad.com, we have factored in all these 40 to 80 different points that you want to consider, and you can basically just compare. We have extracted all this right information for you, and you can just compare and see that, oh, this is cheaper, or this is a scholarship, and these are, and most importantly, your eligibility. One thing that again I would tell you about myself, while choosing the university, I didn't know that what I was eligible for. All right, which university can I go to? I just went to whoever somebody told me to. All right, and that is partly my fault, and that is partly that time internet was not that widespread. I had to order brochures which would come by courier from London to Chhattisgarh, and that was very time consuming and not practical. So I could not make that decision, but you do not have to do that. When you go to zoomabroad.com, you just create your profile and you put your grades on. I've got 58%, I've got 2.5 CGPA, I've got 3.5 CGPA, my IELTS score is this. The system is made so simple that it will tell you that these are the universities that you are eligible for. All right. If I had that system when I was looking for university, I'm not regretting that I studied in a bad university. Of course, my university was great, but I would have gone to Oxford or Cambridge. I was eligible enough. My parents could have afforded that. I would have got some scholarship. I do not, God knows, I do not know. But then now there is an opportunity. You do not have to ask Abhishek, or you do not have to ask somebody else like which university to go for. You just go create your profile like you would do it in your Facebook, but put your grades on, put your IELTS score on, and the system would tell you you are eligible to these universities or courses. All right. So this is how we can probably help you in that. Now, choosing a country. All right. Choosing a country relatively easy. All right. I would say, what do you want to say? I think your parents and you yourself want to make sure that the country that you're choosing is safe enough to go, and especially in this virus situation. When should I go? By the way, the next webinar I'm doing this Friday is to on the safety. Is UK is safe to travel in COVID? All right. There is a mixed feeling about it, and I would be talking about what the government is doing to make sure, what university is doing to make sure that you are safe and secure, and so on and so forth. So that way you need to talk about safety. Is there any racism? All right. Will I be treated as like a brown man in a white land? I don't think so. I never felt that way. Yes, there are some difficulties you would face in certain part, but then I think in India as well, you feel that, right? You're tu kala hai, tu chota hai, tu mota hai. So that discrimination happens anywhere. But then you got to be a bit comfortable that, and you got to be a bit ready as well that, okay, I'm going there and this may happen. All right. You want to understand the cost of living. All right. The cost of, sometimes the fee could be cheaper, but the cost of living could be way expensive. And that's why the location is like, if you're studying in London, the cost of living in is very high. Whereas in the same degree could be done in Wales or in Scotland or in the northern part in Manchester, that the cost of living is cheaper, but the tuition fee might be different. All right. So you need to understand the cost of living of that particular place. Again, we can give that information on Zoom Abroad as well. The employability of each country. If you're many students, and especially from Gujarat and Punjab, unfortunately they go to some of these countries like Far East, Latvia, Poland. I'm not saying anything bad about these countries. You definitely can go, but then you got to understand the unemployability ratio of that particular country is really, really high. The people of that country is not getting job. How are you supposed to get that? If your intention is to get a degree and come back, great. Go to Latvia, Poland, wherever you want to. But then if you are looking to get some return on investment, if I'm spending 20 lakh rupees, do I get a job? That is the answer you want to give. All right. Is it welcoming? Can you adopt to the language? Prior to this Zoom Abroad, I used to work for a German university in Berlin called IUBA. So I was a director out there. Although it was an English-speaking university, but many students and parents, they felt a bit, I do not want to consider because I don't speak German. Although there are certain cities like Berlin or Munich, you can go and study without a problem with English. But then coming to countries like UK or US or Australia, the English is not a problem. Of course, that is the first language. Then you want to talk about the immigration side, right? You want to see, if I spend again, can I stay there a bit longer? Can I stay there for 2 years? Like for in UK, you can stay for 2 years. And you guys, if you decide to come next year, you would be lucky those who would get these 2 years of stay back option or the work permit after studying after 10 years probably. Okay, so the government stopped this 2 years of post-study work permit around 10 years ago, and they started just this year. So 2021 graduate onwards. Okay, this is a big news if you do not know about this. Okay, 2021 onwards, if you go on for a study, master's degrees for 1 year, bachelor's degrees 3 years or 4 years depending. After completion of the course, you get 2 years of post-study work permit. So you can work there, and less than 6 to 8 months, maximum 12 months, you basically get the money back, what you have invested. Not with that intention. I'm not promising anything, but then this is how I have done it. I have seen many doing it and stuff like that. All right. Okay. So the same way, the next slide is talking about the safety of it, the cost, the language of it, the 2 years work experience, and most importantly, the party scene. All right. Many of you, you hesitate to talk about these stuff, but then I know as a student how important the party scene is, because if you do not enjoy your time in your bachelor's or master's in your college life, you would miss it. You would crib about it all your life. Okay. So do not underestimate the importance of that part. And mind you, if you're coming abroad, you are alone. All right. So you need more fun. You need more enjoyment. You need to make more friends because your family isn't there. All right. So make sure that the whichever country that you choose, the fun part, the student life part is very important. At the same time, Zoom Abroad, if you go onto the university page in zoomabroad.com, it shows you what are the party places around your university so that you can pre-plan, like, okay, this university has a great things around it. All right. So these are the things that you want to look into, but then some of the technicalities that you want to understand before you choose UK. All right. IELTS, which is the English language, International English Language Testing System, is required to prove your English, all right, for you to apply to any UK universities, all right. If you have that, great. But then nowadays, the things are changing, all right. If you have studied in an English medium school, all right, a CBSE, ICSE, or any English medium school, or if you have English marks, which is good, like 65, 75, different universities have different requirement. You may not have to spend 15,000 rupees to write an IELTS exam. You can just apply with your current transcript and you could be accepted. Many universities take an extra interview on top of that, where we will prepare you for the interviews. We will help you to write SOPs, the personal statements, the application processes, and so on and so forth. But then you may not need an IELTS. It does not mean you do not need English. Of course, you need English. You need to talk to people in English. Okay. You can survive without English, but you are here to study, not to travel, right? Okay. The another important thing that is happening right now in the UK is Brexit, right? From last 3 years, we have been reading about this term. Brexit is happening, Brexit is happening, and it is now really happening. What does it mean for us? It means the non-European students, which is us, Indians, would be treated equally as European students, all right? So it means if you are intelligent enough, you would get the job, all right? Previously, what used to happen is that the UK employers have to prepare a special work permit for non-European student, whereas they could employ a European candidate without or no work permit at all. All right. But then that is changing. It means the competition would be equal. You will be in the plain leveling ground. And we know that we Indians are much more intelligent and hardworking, right? So don't underestimate that. So this is good news, all right? The UK universities are normally quick turnaround. If you apply today, normally you should get an application offer in 2 to 3 weeks. 3 weeks are rare side, but then maximum within 1 to 2 weeks, right? Okay, and there are generous scholarships. Scholarship is something we all want to talk about. So my another talk on the scholarship is go on to Eventbrite, look for Zoom Abroad, and you would find a scholarship webinar. We would go deeper into it, how to make sure and how to find your right scholarship. By the way, one thing that I want to tell you in this webinar is if you register on zoomabroad.com before before the end of November, you get a guaranteed scholarship, 25,000 rupees scholarship if you ever process your application. So as long as if you register before end of November, you would get that guaranteed scholarship. All right, 25,000 rupees, good enough for your party, isn't it? All right. UK offer, of course, the best universities of the world. You could get a course from 10 lakh rupees per annum up to 80 lakh or maybe more per annum. So it is affordable. Now, even in India, probably those who are studying in Delhi, Mumbai, and the bigger cities like that, you are spending around 10 lakh rupees per annum, isn't it? Or maybe 8 lakhs, right? You can spend another premium of 2 lakhs on top to be in London, isn't it? It is highly affordable. If you think about the affordability side of it, the bank loans are available. We work with few partners who could provide loans without even security, without even a mortgage or a property. So it is for basically everyone. And one of the biggest advantage of studying in the UK, especially for the postgraduate level, that you could finish your master's just in 1 year. All right. Whereas in US or in India, you would be spending 2 years. It means 2 years, meaning twice the cost, twice the time, twice the missed opportunity, right? So you can complete the same in just 1 year, guys. So that is why we talk a lot about UK universities, which we love because I live here. I could support better if you're coming to UK. But then what do you need now? Okay, we have enough of information about how to choose my skill set, how to choose my course, how to identify what am I good at, blah, 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 how to find a university, how to, what do you need to apply to a university, how to choose a country. We spoke about briefly about these topics. Now, what do you need now? All right. Some technicalities you may not want to you may not need it right now, but then it is the total fees that you would require is an average of 10 to 13 lakh rupees plus living expenses of around 10 lakh rupees. You need to maintain that fund for 28 days in your bank account or your parents' bank account, and then you can apply for September intake. You can apply in April. Most of the good universities, the Russell Group universities, the sooner you apply, better chances you have. The sooner you apply, better chances you have to get a scholarship as well, because it is a pot gets empty very quickly. For February or November in January intake, you must apply not later than November. For tier 2 universities, you can apply a little bit later as well. All right. And how do you find all this information? Do your research. Okay, do your research. Zoom Abroad again is a good tool for you to go on to and find out the right information there. All right. So here it is, all the information that you would need. What do you need to do next after this session, guys? If you like it, what I would advise you to do is, first step is analyze yourself. All right. Just don't take yourself for granted. All right. You are a unique being, right? I don't need to tell you that. You know it by yourself. You must be thinking, what the crap he's talking about. I know I am awesome, right? But analyze yourself. Okay. Identify and give some time to yourself alone. All right. Not always with friends. Spend some time alone. Go for a walk. All right. And then check your eligibility. All right. Even if you're not planning to go, sometimes if you check your eligibility, you see that you're eligible for this awesome university with the awesome scholarship with the affordable price, and with a click of a couple of buttons you can go to London. All right, so go on to zoomabroad.com, all right, and create your profile and check your eligibility. Today you would see there is a tab called more filters. If you put in your grades, it will tell you what universities that you are in. Once you are there, click apply and then fly. All right, so it is as simple as that. I would say, if you get stuck anywhere, please do not hesitate. Reach out to us. Add me on LinkedIn. Add me on Facebook. Follow our page on social media or wherever you want to. I'm available. My team is available. So although I am talking to you from London, my team is based in Pune. So you do not have to make international calls. WhatsApp is there even though, but then you do not have to make international call. You can talk to my team, very helpful, genuine people in Pune, and we would be able to help you out. You do not have to call. All the platform can do it for you. So zoomabroad.com. I hope this has been a bit of help for you. But then if there is anything, please feel free to ask me question. For people, those who are joining in from Zoom meeting, please type in your question onto the chat box. YouTubers or Facebookers, please type in any questions that you have. I would be happy to answer. Great. So I have few questions here. How do I know my eligibility? All right. So it is. So you have two options, my friend. All right. One is either go to different websites. All right, and check the eligibility. You go to hundreds of different websites, or you go on to zoomabroad.com and you create your profile. As I said, once you create your profile, you would know, the system would tell you these are the eligible university. Second is, how can I make sure I get the scholarship? Okay. The second is how to, scholarships, right? Information about scholarship, again, I would be giving a different lecture on it separately. All right, and there are different ways. Universities offer scholarship, charitable funds offer scholarship, the government offers scholarship. There is a scholarship for girls, there is a scholarship for Muslims, there is a scholarship for Hindus, there is a regional based scholarship, there is a disability scholarship, there is a sports scholarship. There's plenty of scholarships available, and I can guarantee you that there is one scholarship for you. All right, whatever you are, whatever your profile you have. All right, so it is just about finding it. So create your profile. One good thing that Zoom Abroad platform does is it gives you point for your profile. So the better your profile is, the better quality points that you have. All right, and the better quality points that you have a benchmark to see how can I improvise that to get a better scholarship or a better university. All right, so Kanu Pandey is asking me, dentistry opportunity in PG in UK. Yes, there is dentistry opportunity in PG in UK, but in medicine, of course, the options are quite less. Okay, but competition and the cost is quite high. All right. If you again, go on to Zoom Abroad, look for dentistry, type in on the search panel, you would find the courses available for dentistry in UK. The process is quite straightforward. If you are if you're looking for undergraduate level or postgraduate level, depending on that, you can definitely find this option. In fact, then when you ask about dentistry, I think about my BDS or college option that I had at that point. The dentists in UK make bloody good money. All right, I can tell you that. All right, if you could become a dentist in UK, you're sorted. All right, if money is something that motivates you. All right, so it is a good option, Kanu. All right. So I have a question here saying that IELTS, is that mandatory? All right. Mr. Isab, IELTS is not mandatory, but it is good to have IELTS if you have. IELTS, it is easier, it is quicker for you to get an offer. But if you do not have IELTS, it should not change anything. All right. You may have to appear the in-country or the university-based test or maybe an interview. But something important is that with the interview or with the IELTS, you also have to go through writing an SOP, a statement of purpose, or an essay that you think. It is a bit tricky, but it is not very difficult. We would be having another session on how to write an SOP, how to write an ACE SOP, where you would get the university's attention and you tell them a great story. Yes. All right. So there is another message asking, where can I find another webinars? All right, guys, I'm repeating. You can find the webinars. Go on to Eventbrite where you registered from this, or log on to our what do you call it, YouTube or Facebook. Like our page. You log on to Zoom Abroad. We will send you the details of next webinars that we are hoping. Okay. Question here is, how much do you charge? All right, that's an interesting one. Okay, the good news is we do not charge. We are free. All right, so you do not have to worry about paying us anything. All right, we are here to help you. We have other means of making money. I'm not going to tell you how, but you do not have to pay us anything. As long as you use our resources within means. All right, just go for it. Apply. Don't worry about our charges. We are absolutely free. All right. Great. Any more questions? Yes. Okay. How long does it take? Okay, the process from application to visa, the process of the whole application can take as minimum as 2 months to 3 months and can go up to 1 year. All right, depending when you start. Okay, I normally advise start a year in advance. All right, so you get the benefit of all the scholarships that you can get. You can get the benefit of all the basically, you do not miss any deadlines. Basically, sometimes what happens is you have made up your mind, but you have missed the deadlines of some of the really good university, and then you moan, oh, I shouldn't have missed that. I should have applied earlier. So if you're in your second year, if you're in your final year, start looking. All right, start interacting, start finding out information, start preparing yourself. All right, so do that. Okay. How do I contact you, Abhishek? You can definitely contact me on the link I have shared here. You can add me on LinkedIn. You can write to me on an email. And one thing I can promise, I will reply to your email. All right. However busy it is, but then I will definitely reply to your email. All right. Reach out to me. Okay. But for me to help you, I need to know you better. All right. So create a profile so that I know whom I'm talking to, what grades that you have and stuff like that. All right. Cool. I think we are just in time finishing this. So thank you very much for taking time for the second webinar. Actually, the first one went really great. This one is going awesome here. We have over 84, okay, over 120 students for the second webinar. Not that bad, isn't it? All right. Share with your friends. Share it with your friends and ask them to join in the next webinar. More you help, more you get. That is the simple rule, isn't it? All right. The more you help, more you get. So best of luck. Reach out to me. I hope I have been helpful in some manner to you. And if not, please leave your feedback as well. All right. Thank you very much once again, and hope to see you soon somewhere. All right, great. Thank you. Cheers. Bye.